Hey everyone, it's been a little while, but after many months of winter, spring has finally come, so the chickens are now regularly getting out and enjoying themselves very much doing so. So welcome to, finally, an update, a new episode of Flockin' Around. I'm not sure if it's right to call them episodes, but I'm gonna go with it. The Orloff flock they pretty much hang out over here, and they're enjoying it immensely. We've scattered corn and oats and millet, just kind of an economy bird mix for them on the ground so they can forage while the grass is working on coming up, and there aren't really many insects for them to get yet. Though they are finding a few, some flies, some worms. It's not a whole lot quite yet because the nights are still so cold. But they're enjoying themselves. The sun is out, it's warm. Well, okay, it feels warm to us, but I know to many friends in colder states it's not, or sorry, warmer states, southern states. But we have a high of 67 degrees Fahrenheit today, which is just kind of the favorite weather of all the birds, the bantams and the Orloffs and the turkeys alike. And it is warm enough that our chicks, who are now 7 weeks old, except for our youngest two that we kept back, which are 5 weeks old, are able to get out and about. They're hanging out on the other side of this, let me rotate, of this massive chunk of snow that hasn't melted yet, despite having several days in the 60s. But let's go over here. Here are two of them. They're really enjoying being outside and interacting with the flock. And they're fully feathered now, even though they got a few fuzzies left. This is Susan, who's been a fan favorite right there, and Yarrow. Oh, and they're joined by Lupine. These are 3 pullets right here. And they are very happy to get out, forage, learn how to be chickens. They get along pretty well with the adult flock. There are a few of the lower ranking hens who get after them, but not too hard. We don't really have to worry about their safety much. And the boys are very good at looking after everyone. I think the others are all on the other side of the house, so I'm gonna go over there. Actually, I think Quail might be over there. Sorry, it's shaky. I'm carrying the tripod while holding the camera. So we go under the porch. This is where I keep the Orloff's food and water because it's sheltered. And here are the babies. Oh, nope, Jen's not over here. And they're all running over to me now. I find them and then they leave. They are busybodies. There we go, okay. They got over their initial excitement of seeing me, now they go back to their activities. There are 18 of them, including 2 that are 2 weeks younger, who I hatched out of a batch, but ended up keeping. Of course, they're both boys, because that's just how our luck goes. Lots of foraging to do. This is one of the favorite dust spots of the birds pretty much year-round because it's right against the house, and these red bricks absorb the heat really well. So it's just a really cozy spot, and there's the nice, dry, loose dirt that they absolutely love. The one pecking at the branches right now on top of the brick is Doreen. He's one of the youngsters. He's Billy's son, which is why he's kept back, because he's an experimental breeding. To find out if you don't know Billy Rose, she's a chick I hatched out from my foundation hen Wade, and she came out blind and with a very strange beak deformity. Nothing, it didn't really warrant me culling her at that point because I wanted to figure out what was going on, because she was the only one of Wade's eggs that hatched. And I think it was just a weird issue with Wade's shell quality at the time, and she's always had kind of iffy shell quality, that's why she retired from breeding pretty early on. But Billy has fantastic type and a wonderful temperament, so I decided to experiment, and none of her offspring will be sold. That's, you know, it's an ethics thing there. But I'm keeping them to experiment and see if it's genetic, because her vision improved with age, although I had to teach her how to eat and everything really carefully. She could see about 10 feet around her, no issue. Honestly, it might be better than that now. Her vision might be totally recovered, because I haven't noticed that she has any navigation issues now. And her beak is improving. She eats and drinks and preens, no problem. She's very vibrant, very healthy. So I've been experimentally, I collected an egg from her to hatch, and got Doreen out of that, and he is perfectly healthy. Just a really solid quality baby, but I want to do some line breeding to experiment more, and determine for sure that it's not genetic. Because if it's not genetic, then she has so many great qualities that her offspring can be used in my line later, and bring with them fantastic type and temperaments and color. But he's the only one I've hatched so far from her. And that light one in front of the brick is Fifi, or Salsify. And he's the other one we kept back. That was Quail's choice, because he was very light-colored and very sassy. He's a sweetie and going to be a really handsome cockerel. And I'm keeping 2 cockerels back from this batch, so the others all get... I have quite a few people who want good quality cockerels to add to their lines from me. And it sounds like one of my turkey hens may have jumped the fence. Which they do, there's no stopping them. It's only a 4-foot fence and turkeys are capable of flight, so... All 18 babies are just absolutely thriving. And we have 10 pullets and 8 cockerels. Almost every single batch of Orloffs I have had more cockerels than pullets, so this is a first for me, so that's exciting. And they all have really great type and long legs. And here they come. That's Tulio hanging out behind me. These 4 are Lotus, a pullet, Juniper, one of my favorite cockerels. Who is that? I think that's Blue Mink, another favorite cockerel. And Mum, a favorite pullet. And hanging out with me constantly, Tulio. My very good quality black turkey tom. He is 9 months old and weighs about 26 pounds. He's lower ranking than the other Tom, who's hanging out over there, Zars. And as a result, the hens prefer Zars, who is 2 months older than Tulio anyways. So, Tulio hangs out with me instead and tries to woo me. And here's Billy. She is bare on her back right now because at her age she is very, she's young and she's fertile and she's really into the boys. And it's always about this age that I have issues with the hens getting worn because they just are constantly squatting for the boys. But I have new saddles on the way. I tried to put one on her earlier, but it was kind of with a snap buckle and she figured out how to undo it. And I could not keep it on her. So I have elastic ones coming instead, which should be here soon, and she'll get covered up so her back's nice and protected. And it's not really a matter of the number of boys that I have. I have 2 with this flock right now, and I mean, I've had issues when I just have 1 and like 20 hens, which is not a very healthy ratio, which I found out. Too many hens, too few boys, not good. Contrary to popular belief. And here we go. Oh, Zar's coming over to see what's going on. Julia would like him to not. Hi, Zarzamora, you handsome thing. Zar's got kind of moody over the winter, being cooped in, not enough going on to keep him entertained, so he got a little bitey. But we've been counter-conditioning him to it, just rewarding him for good behavior. And it's working really well. Yep, Juniper accidentally got left behind. Don't worry, he'll find his flock. And there he goes. Ugh, and we're moving again. Back under the porch. Babies are enjoying their eating pellets. I've recently been adding pellets to their diet because they're usually on crumbles, but about 6 weeks old, I start switching them. We use a game bird pellet for all of our birds. And for the hens who are laying, I just offer the oyster shell, so they have plenty of calcium. Yep, some of the older girls are here now. You'll see the hens get after them a little bit, but not really much at all. They're pretty peaceful, honestly. They're used to babies being added, though. That's Zinnia, and she kind of terrorizes. She's one of the lowest ranking hens, and the lower ranking birds tend to be more violent because it's harder for them to maintain their position. They get challenged more frequently and pushed around more, so they tend to be a lot more grouchy. She's not awful, she's just a little moody. I'm not concerned about her seriously injuring them, though. She chases them, she pecks a bit, but they're not, none of my birds are like bloodthirsty or anything like that. It's just a matter of she doesn't want these young things taking over her rank. Now, it's kind of funny because the hens, they always bully the babies, and it seems like the babies remember, so then as they age and get bigger and stronger, and most of these will be bigger than her, they seem to remember which hens were not super nice to them. And of course this flock is much bigger than the main flock, and I'm keeping these guys all for a while. So they're going to outnumber everyone quite a bit. Raising them in a big flock like this is nice. There's few of them that I know everyone, that I keep an eye on everyone and can individually record development pretty well. But there's enough of them that everyone has a friend, that there aren't any outsiders in the group. They all have complementary personalities. And it makes transitioning them to things a lot easier when there's a lot of them. They like eating the snow, but it's warm enough out that they don't get chilled. At 4 weeks old is when I take them off of supplemental heat, but I usually have them inside still, or in a building, while I wait for them to lose the rest of their fuzzies. But once they're fully feathered, like most of them are, then they're pretty good. They can handle most weather. Excuse me. We don't do rain yet, though. I won't let them out during rainy weather until they're quite a bit older. Especially because Orloffs are notoriously awful about seeking shelter, because they just don't care that much about bad weather. Sorry that the camera's rocking. That's Tullio is bumping it, trying to get my attention. Billy likes the babies a lot. She gets after them a little bit if they crowd her, but mostly she's just really laid back about them like her mom is. I have about 2 minutes left, and there's a bantam flock over here. So sorry it's so shaky. I'm not very steady holding the tripod like this. Let me zoom out so maybe it looks less bad. There. Few of the bantams hanging out over here. We got Lars, who's the red pile modern game bantam. He's so cute. We got Todd, who is a mega mutt. She's got like Sarama, Bantam Brahma, Old English Game, Barbudan Bear, and Cochin in her. We got Mr. Buttons, who's a khaki Wyandotte bantam. Lucretia, who is a kind of off-standard brown-red modern game bantam. And Lake, who is a Sarama Bantam Brahma modern game cross, and she's kind of mean. Oh, we got a few seconds left. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and sorry for the lack of updates. Happy chickening, and like and subscribe if you so desire.